Can't hear you. Well, let me just check. It says I'm live. So instead of me sitting here doing nothing in particular, let me see if we are definitely live. And yes, we are. So I'm going to take over. Okay. So I'm going to talk a while until Dave comes back, hopefully soon. So going through now, get this, folks. I did a broadcast my own earlier today to promote my genealogy business, and I played two songs of
All right, we're back. Randy, can you hear me? I have a working mic.
I can hear you.
Okay, I don't know what the problem with Chuck was. Anyway, it's Boogie with the Bull Thursday night.
Chuck's in the waiting room.
And Chuck is in the waiting room, so let's see if we can get Chuck in here. Come on. All right, Chuck, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Because I got rid of my headset.
No, it wasn't your headset. For something, it looked like my mic was not correctly plugged in. I don't know. It seems like the cable was loose, but I jocketed it around, and then I came in and rebooted the broadcast. So I apologize for any of that good stuff, but it's Thursday night Uncensored. We are live on the Dave Glogan profile, and you all got to watch that if you were there. And if you're on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel, you got to watch it there. But anyway, we are here. So please take part in the broadcast. It's politics and whatever comes out of our mouths tonight. Open discussions. So be part of the fun. We'll go to Randy Rhodes and do the usual what is new and exciting with you, Randy, and then we'll go to Chuck and we'll see if anyone else comes on in the meantime.
Okay. So new and updated to me is simply I now have 3 clients who are getting their teeth in their mouth replaced. It sounds like they're getting entire mouths full of teeth removed and replaced with fake stuff. So they placed me on pause, which I can understand. Their money is best spent on their smiles. So they'll be coming back to me. But in the meantime, I do have openings for 3 new folks on my genealogy schedule. So if you're looking to find out about your family, reach out to me. I do a hell of a job. Along with that, I did a broadcast today. Check it out. Also, take notice to the music. The Boogie family is a wonderful Southern family. They sing gospel, they sing Christian, they sing Southern music. It's twin daughters, a mom and a son. Phenomenal performers. And I got nailed twice by some foreign entity who claims I don't have rights to the music in their particular countries, wherever their countries are. But I do have rights per the family that sings the music.
It's scammers unless there is a record company involved with the Bouguet family, and they control the rights of where things, they control the rights. But It's not worth this
Oh, it's not.
discussing.
No.
Other than to say, it usually involves a little bit of communication between you and Facebook. And my other suggestion is that if you have permission to use the Boogie family music, have them email you a letter that says you have their permission to use the music. Copy that, and every time Facebook says you don't have permission, send
there you go. Yeah.
send it into them. I had to have my friend Cookie Malone actually take the sheet of music off from his wall, photocopy it on the back, write unlimited permission to use it so that I could send it into Facebook, and then the guy in China left me alone. Jerry Michaels is with us also from the American Rebellion.
Just one last thing, and then we'll go one last thing. We'll move on to, from here. The U.S. Coast Guard, as of today, started using the Gulf of America when identifying where they're located, their positioning.
Okay,
it's pretty cool. The Gulf of America.
It is, but now we'll go to Chuck and give Chuck.
Hello.
Give Chuck some time to say, how was your escort detail?
Oh, it was not fun. I went up there last night and roads were shitty and tried to get a good night's sleep. I went into the hotel room there and it was like 90 freaking degrees. And well, you saw me last night, 90 degrees in there. So I turned the air conditioner on. And then I went to bed and then sinuses kept me up damn near all night and got up and went to the pick up the load, and we were only be able to go about 30 miles an hour because the fucking roads were all icy. So yeah, it was real fun. Yeah.
When you drive as an escort, do you get paid to and from the location, or just to?
Just when I pick the load up, and yeah, just when I pick the load up to the destination, and then that's it.
So you only get paid one way.
One way.
Dumb question. Don't answer. Don't want to. Does it pay well to get paid too, or do you lose money having to drive all the way home?
Well, today I was only about an hour and 20 minutes away from home by the time we dropped the load.
Okay.
But I had to drive 3 hours yesterday to get up there to, be up there. So,
but
yeah,
do a lot. I'm just going to jump in with a quick question. You drop in one city, if there's a chance that you can pick a run up in the area coming back, how often does that happen?
For me, it doesn't happen very often, but one of the people that were escorting the truck behind me, she drove up from Rockford, Illinois, which is, 15 miles south of where I live. And she drove all the way up there. So she was driving 3 3/4 in the morning. And she said the roads are shitty all the way up pretty much once they got into Wisconsin. And then she had another load waiting for her down at the state line when she got done with the load that we were on. So she keeping herself busy.
Good. Robert Brunson wants to know if you ever come to Iowa.
Oh yeah, I'll go to Iowa every once in a while with loads. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Let me go back to Randy, and then we'll get down to Jerry. But
so the one senator that Jerry mentioned the other day that he's one of his guys still alive. What's the guy's name? If I can find here real fast. Jerry mentioned the guy's name. Wanted to know if he's still living and why he's still doing his job. I can't find his name, but apparently they're pushing through to get the rest of Trump's people voted yes before the weekend is over. I guess Pete Hegseth is all but assured a position with Trump. So that's a good thing, because I would love to see him in the office.
Okay. And with that, let me jump down to Jerry. Let me bring Jerry into the conversation. Jerry Michaels, the host of the American Rebellion, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. here on Facebook on the American Rebellion blogger page. I always say somewhere on Rumble and somewhere on X because I can never remember where, and I lost my notes, and I'm too embarrassed to ask Jerry to remind everybody where. Like, good evening, Jerry.
Hi, Larry.
Dave, we're not on Rumble anymore, so half your problem is solved. I thought I'd tell you that. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Why is Susan Murkowski in that Collins Bill Senate? Somebody please explain this to me. I mean, I know Vermont is a difficult state, but Alaska, really?
I hear you. I just, for me, politics was spent most of the day listening to Democrats complain about what they think President Trump is going to do, but they don't. They seem it was okay that Joe Biden did it with preemptive pardons, executive clemency for his family, but they just want to make sure Donald Trump can't do it.
Well,
and I kind of blew my head and just said, enough of this party politics. We need to just start doing what's right for the people of the United States of America. And if we can't do that, maybe you don't belong in the House or the Senate
I
anymore.
think that we should have, whenever the Democrats are up there doing their little speeches, all the Republicans should come out and just laugh at them. And then, do what they want. Yep. I mean, you have the power, do what you want. The problem is that we have Democrats in the Republican Party. So, okay, there's things happening. All right, so that's fine. Chuck
muted.
Well, Chuck's always mute, even when it's on. It doesn't matter.
That's true. But I promise tomorrow night we'll get him up to 10 words.
Okay. Well, yeah. He was pretty good last night, I got to say. I think the heat got to him or something. He's not used to all that heat. It's usually 5 degrees. Look at him. He's wearing like 14 coats, a T-shirt. Probably got to go.
That's because it was hot in that dang room last night,
That's why I had the thermostat. You could turn down the heat, Chuck.
Well, yeah, them cheap-ass heater, air conditioner, window units they got in motels, they don't work with the shit.
Yeah. Oh, this one apparently did because it was warm.
It was warm in there. Man, it was warm.
Most people want warm when it's 5 degrees. Not you, Chuck.
I know. It's 8 degrees here. We got up in Janesville, which is 10 miles north of Beloit here. They got 5.4 inches. And I think out here in our backyard, we got, what do you think we got? About 4? Yeah, 3 or 4 inches. Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, I got none. And
you're in Florida. Florida had.
It's going to be in the 20s tonight. So I don't want to hear any noise from your silly weather.
Yeah.
Taking a trip to Florida. It's over. It's gone too much. It's too much, Chuck.
Destin, Florida had 10 inches of snow, and we didn't have anything on the ground when they got that shit.
Yeah, Destin is a resort type town. A lot of tourists and stuff. And, I'm all for tourists being miserable. So,
Do you know where Lynn Haven, Florida is? I saw
not really.
A brief video clip that showed it looking like a beautiful winter wonderland.
It's probably up in the Panhandle because I've never heard of Lynn Haven. I don't think there's so many towns in Florida. We got towns around here where there's just a sign. There's not even a 7-Eleven or anything, or a Circle K. It's just a sign, and it's like you look around, it's nothing but trees.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, just some sunlight, clouds, and rain.
One pole that has "Welcome to Lynn Haven" below a sign that says "Now leaving Lynn Haven." Lynn Haven, if you're watching, I'm just picking on you.
Yeah, uptown and downtown in the same tree. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't too bad up here. We waited until it hit 35, and I think we left when it hit 40. And now it seems to be holding at 41.
Well, it's supposed to be in the 29 or something tonight, or 28. I don't know. If it's that means Chiefland, so we're about 2 degrees colder in where we live, 10 miles, just 10 miles away. So it could be. It won't be the coldest I've ever seen here, but it'll be close enough to where I'll be miserable, which is apparently God's plan for me. And now you understand why I'm against it. He just make me miserable with the cold.
Yep.
So there you go. Anyway, I'm having fun.
Anyway, good. I'm glad.
Wow.
I hope we're here and we have a lot of fun.
I'm just thankful
I wanna ask
that
you
Chuck
about your-
will probably end up being snowed into his house, and I can laugh at him constantly. And have
Hey,
some-
we're from Wisconsin. We know how to drive in this shit. We know how to shovel the shit. And yeah, hey, we're from
Okay.
Wisconsin, man.
I'm almost positive that's not a good talking point for the Chamber of Commerce there, Bud. I'll be truthful. That sounds a whole lot like work, that shoveling part.
I know. I shoveled the driveway I got the snow blower out.
Or you know how to drive away from there, but you know what's going to be waiting for you when you come back. So
that's why I hired the little teenage kid living next door here. That I'll pay you well. You keep my driveway and sidewalk clear, and he get right out there and he get it done. So
yeah, I remember in 90. Wait, not 90. I think it was 76. We lived in Pennsylvania. And we had this long ass driveway. It was probably 200 yards long.
Yeah.
And there was a blizzard in Ohio. It came to Pennsylvania and shit all over us. Okay, so I'm about 14 or 15, and my dad and me are out in there, and we shoveled for 45 minutes and got about 6 foot. And my dad looked at me and said, "Screw this," and called a snowplow. So it's all good.
Yep. When we lived in Massachusetts, our landlord would come plow, I think every 6 or 7 hours, if it was more than a foot on the driveway. And then a friend of mine would come by and plow on the hour or 2 hour break in between the landlord coming, so that I could always get the cars in and out. But
yeah,
I can't shovel anyway. So most landlords where we were living made sure they did it for me because I can't stand up straight long enough to.
I don't see it on chat on my other screen here, but Robin wanted to know if I ever get up to Waterloo. Maybe we can go grab a cup together or whatever. I don't ever get up that far, up there. It's, usually across the river down by Davenport and sometimes by Dubuque, but not very often. And then we usually take 151 down to 30 and take out to Omaha or whatever. But I don't get up to Waterloo area very often. So.
Well, if you ever do, she's going to take you to Fat Cup Coffee Company, which serves a fantastic cup of coffee. Really. Oh, well, I don't know what else they serve. Kind of screwed up.
Chuck's a communist.
No, I'm a Jew who is partially kosher only because both of my parents were, and coffee is kosher. Plus, I can't start my morning without a good amount.
What?
A good amount of coffee. I can't start my day. I need it just to get out of bed. But anyway, Jolene Kirkland Foster is here. Good evening to you, Jolene. As I said, Robin Brunson is here. Tina Scott is here. And let me see, Chuck Cook is here. Larry Estes is here. Michael Anthony said ASCAP, so he's here. For those of you that don't know, ASCAP is a licensing organization for most of the music industry meaning the performers and people that write the songs, and they make sure they get the royalties. And if you join them, then you send your playlist to them periodically, and they figure out whatever it is you owe or you owe. And it's either very expensive to be a member if you play a lot of music. It's not very expensive if you don't play a lot of music. We used them at the college radio station.
Expensive. And, there should be a thing where you can play songs, and like we're not making any money if I play a song.
Right.
I'm advertising the song to somebody else. It's like, why are we doing this? Why do I have to pay? I'm not even making a dime on this.
There is a thing in the FCC rules, and it may actually be in Section 230 that says that is called fair use, and it is if you take a song and you discuss the song the way it was written, and you stick to that, then or use it the way it was written, that's okay. And I got into a hassle because Billy Joel wrote the song.
So that's very sad.
Well, actually, Facebook had to put their head up their rectum as far as I'm concerned, because Billy Joel went on YouTube and said, yes, I wrote the song. We didn't start the fire. I gave permission to the artist who recorded his own, changed the words a little bit, and re-released it. Warner Digital Rights Group, which is the group at Warner that controls the rights of using everything, contacted me and said copyright violation. I politely wrote them back a 2-page letter describing fair use, and one of their lawyers wrote me back and said, "You're right."
Oh, you know what?
Have a nice day.
Dave? They didn't just go by the law. You wrote them a 2-page letter, which I absolutely believe. You borrowed them.
Well, I did.
They couldn't get that 3
paragraphs. But no, actually, it was very short. I just mentioned that within Section 230, it says fair use. If you don't know what it is, I suggest your lawyers look it up. And one of their lawyers wrote me back and said, "You're 100% right. We'll see if the next copyright violation." And who knows?
Today saying I have all kinds of copyright violations, there's like 50 of them. And you know what? Mm-hmm. I just I erased the post. I don't care. Whatever. What are you gonna do? Put me in fucking jail? Or throw me off? Fine me? I'm not gonna pay you. So fuck you.
Facebook can't fine you. The copyright owner can, but it becomes a really big mess. And in most cases, they end up dropping it because it will cost more to take you to court than it will to recover the money. And most of that
for my intro, your intro, Randy thing. All right, and I got it on not Restream, eBooks or eMux, whatever the hell it is. Okay, and I'm being told that somebody is copyright. I'm sharing revenue with them, and I hope they get rich off it because I sure as hell ain't.
Okay, if you take the music from Restream or eView Max or even StreamYard or whoever you use, I believe you have a license that allows you to use that music, because if it is right, but if it is copyrighted, StreamYard or the live stream service has an agreement that allows them to use that music, which allows you to use it.
But anyway, Emux or what? I don't know. What a stupid fucking name.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I know.
They have music you can buy. $1.99, $2, whatever. Right. Okay. I choose not to do that, but the free music, you got to keep scrolling until you find something that's okay. Right. Basically, it's none of it's great, but it's okay. So I mean, I would love to play I would love to have a radio show playing rock and 70s rock. But I ain't paying that much money to do it and not make no money off it.
Right. There are organizations like ASCAP and BMI that deal with small guys like us that want to use copyrighted music but want to make sure the royalty gets paid. And last time I looked, the smallest one I think was like $150 a year, which is still a lot of money for those of us, like you said, who aren't making
I
money.
tell my
But
wife I'm
anyway,
gonna spend $150 on doing a radio show I'm not making any money on. She's going to throw a pot at my head, and I don't like the pot being thrown at my head, so I'm not going to do it. It's like, anyway, still having fun though.
Yep. Yeah, I hope you do. I mean, I hope we all do. You know, like I said, tonight I wanted to just throw it open and let people talk about whatever they wanted to talk about. And if it was politics, then it would be politics. But like I said, most of what I saw on Facebook in my groups was me having to say to people, you know, if you're a Democrat and it was okay for Joe Biden to do it, why are you concerned whether or not it's okay for Donald Trump to do it?
Well, I could tell you one thing. A federal judge appointed by Reagan has stopped the DACA bullshit. Somebody in the... Oh, are you reading this, Dave?
I'm reading it, but I didn't lock him out, so I don't know what I didn't lock him out because he would have had to make a comment. And let me see. Yeah, he would have had to make a comment, and he did make a comment. He made a comment that said ASCAP, and I didn't lock him out of the Facebook chat, and I didn't lock him out of the Restream chat. And he's right here. He's right here. It just says, you know, not.
Yeah, that was when I got on.
He said something about all he typed in was ASCAP.
He did.
And, yeah.
He did.
And all of a sudden, Facebook locked him right out. So I don't know. You know.
Okay.
He just wanted to let us know about it.
Right. I'm glad that he let me know. But me as Boogie with the Bull, I have no control if Facebook or YouTube decides to lock you out of watching it on Facebook or on YouTube. I will question it if I can to find out why, because there's nothing wrong with saying ASCAP. There's nothing wrong with typing ASCAP into the comments or even me taking the time to explain what it is.
Do y'all think the JFK, RFK, MLK, well, that's a lot of Ks in there. 3 of them. Oh, wow, they're all racist. Files will be redacted at all. Well, if they're unclassified, they shouldn't be. But, you know, the federal government and the people working there, so who knows?
Trump wants to release the unredacted. Whether or not he will actually be able to do so, I don't know. I don't know. In regard to the JFK files, all 3 of those files, he has said before in broadcasts that I have watched that he read them. He saw the pictures in them. He doesn't think most Americans want to see the pictures just because of how graphic they are, but that's probably all the more reason why people want to see them. And to me, it's one of those things that you should be able to read it and decide for yourself. And you should
there's going to be assholes out there there's going to be assholes out there swear up and down it was Lee Harvey Oswald. I mean, it's just going to be. I mean, if they come out, I'm going to read them because I would like to know as much as I can. All I know is I trust the people on the ground that were there that day that there's video of that nobody wanted to talk to. Kind of like the chief of the Capitol Police, the January 6th committee, didn't want him to testify. I don't know how, in God's name, that is possible, but it happened. And the same thing happened during Kenny. It's the same fucking playbook.
I don't remember if he resigned after it happened. I don't believe he was fired, but I believe he resigned. I know he did do some testifying, and he was replaced. And the guy that is the chief now, I don't know if he came after the person who replaced the guy that was there on January 6th. Or not, but you know, it's too hard to follow along. You know, everybody involved needs to come and testify, And I don't care if they get a pardon, because what I'm learning now is that evidently if you get a presidential pardon, it means you have to testify. If you are called to testify, you have to tell the truth. And if you don't tell the truth and it's proven that you perjured yourself, you can lose your pardon.
Michael Anthony just texted back to me here. He said he's got some other shows coming up or whatever, so he's got to get ready for those. Otherwise, he would try to get on the show here, but he doesn't want to get banned or something. So
okay,
I don't know. No.
Okay, he didn't get banned. What happened was he asked me who was going to be on, so I named all the people that I had invited. The comment returned to me was, that's too many people. So I said, okay. Then I went back and took the link away from him because he had said that there were going to be too many people on. So I figured that I would take the link away. And then I said to him, if you decide you want to come on, come into the live chat and tell me that you want to come on.
Hey, sometimes you kill yourself. I swear to God. All you got to do is leave the damn link and it'd be done. Just let it go, man. You get too uptight about shit. Just let it go, man.
See, I couldn't get my headset to work there earlier, and dang it, I was just trying to connect it and all this stuff. And I said, well, hell, Dave probably spilled his coffee on it or something.
No. Well, no. Part of that was that, I don't know. There was a glitch with my snowball mic. I went out. I left the broadcast, came back to the broadcast, plugged everything in, and then tested it before I went on, and it seems to be working okay. I don't really know. If I had my way, I would just be using the camera and the mic that are in the laptop and go that way. But people tell me that I sound better on the snowball mic, so I don't know. It's one and a half dozen to the other.
I don't care how I sound. I just go on. I got this $9 microphone and this in front of me, and I'm good. Again, if you don't like how I sound, then you should probably go elsewhere, because that's not gonna change. Yeah. There's no way I could change that.
Right. I do want to thank Jerry, because my camera looked incredibly foggy as I was watching me all day yesterday, and last night I took it upon myself to just take a Q-tip and wipe my camera, and there we are.
So you cleaned out the earwax?
Yeah. Holy shit!
I cleaned out the little camera hole, just gently wiped it with a Q-tip, and boom, here we are.
So I guess the question is, how did your lens get dirty? Are you smudged with your hand or something?
No, the screen is actually dirty, so the dirt that just piled up on the screen could have got into the camera lens, and I didn't think about that. I just sat down and did broadcasts. I have a cloth cover, I don't know what it's made out of, that covers the keyboard, so usually it covers over the camera lens when it's folded down, and there's probably a lot of few nights that I forgot to put that on. I don't know, just dust got in there, and I neglected to. So
the maid's night off. Okay.
No liquid, contrary to anyone's belief, no liquid gets close enough to this to actually fall into. My mug is far enough away that, and safe where it is from falling over, so I'm not worried that it's going to happen again. And I can actually take this laptop off the desk when I'm not using it, if I'm not concerned about it. Anyway.
It's nice out here, actually.
I'm going to read what Jimmy had to say about the JFK. I mean, it's dead.
I like the way that when Trump signed the presidential notification he was going to release the information about Kennedy, he gave the pen to John F. Kennedy Jr., who was in the room.
Yep.
Go ahead, Dave. You were reading what Jimmy said.
No, I'm reading it, and Jimmy's actually 100% spot on. They
Yep.
wanted to wait. They wanted to wait until everyone was dead. The Warren Commission was probably all dead too, or unable to speak about it. Pfizer did get, I heard 50 years, but it could have become 75 years, or could have always been
It is
75.
75. They tried to get. It was 75.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
and from what I understand, they did get it. That's something that I hope RFK Jr. throws out and says no. I mean, you can have 75 years, but we're not going to approve. We're going to work with the Food and Drug Administration because I don't understand. I don't know if they're under him or if they're autonomous without him. I think that that's something that he will work on, and it should very well be. If you're not going to tell us what's in it, then you can't. Then you can't use it. You can't distribute it to be used.
But who the heck said that? Jimmy, he says, do you think all the files and all that are going to be all redacted? Well, what's the sense of releasing them if they're going to black out everything?
It shouldn't be
right.
It shouldn't be that you can redact it. The Johnson & Johnson, which I took 1 dose and the 1 dose booster, I haven't taken anything since. It was shelved because of blood clots, really bad blood clots. It was like gross white long,
right? Yeah,
whatever growing inside me. They found nothing in my blood that suggests a reaction to it. It's been out of my body for so long that it's not effective anymore anyway. I fought with one of my neurologists about going and getting it again and said no. And he said, why? And I said, because I got Lewy body dementia. That alone is enough to kill me. I got Parkinson's. I can fall down. That's enough to kill me. So I'm going to die anyway. And maybe the nice reward might be if I catch it, if I catch COVID and I die from it, maybe I get up to heaven that much faster, or hell that much faster. Because I believe that I
have. Yeah, but we don't want you to end up being a number, Dave.
I know, but I'm on the waiting list for nice deluxe condo space at both destinations because I don't know where I'm going to go.
Well, all I know is if you unclassified, the reason stuff is redacted is because it's classified. People have gotten the Freedom of Information Act stuff from the government where the only words not redacted were like and the, so they should all be unredacted and we should be able to read them. Now, who's going to be working against releasing these? Who's going to be doing this? I mean, it could be a year and a half before we see this stuff because somebody's slow walking it or not doing anything. It's like the same thing. I wouldn't get too excited about it either. Because the United States government, there are people in it that do not want to look bad. And if completely unredacted or complete and total everything is going to make the United States government look horrible. Just like 9/11 would, just like, COVID, whatever. Pearl Harbor. I want to know what really happened at Pearl Harbor because I guarantee you what we heard ain't what fucking happened. And it ain't the deaths. It's like 9/11. A lot of people died there too. That was real. But how did it get going? Because it damn sure wasn't the story I heard where the guys running the radar thought it was
a flock of birds.
Yeah, that sure as fuck ain't it.
Yeah, you guys are talking about the COVID shot. So my first one was a Pfizer. I got that in 21. And then I got another Pfizer in 2021, a few months apart. And then I got another one in 22. That was a Moderna. So I'm still here.
Yeah, you should keep sitting down though, Randy. It's the harder to fall that way.
No, trust me. I've fallen off my chair I forget what the hell happened. I was sitting here doing my job a while back, and next thing I know, I was on the floor, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
okay, I can see
yeah,
that. It
luckily, I'm big enough that I made enough noise when I hit the floor that my wife, my daughter downstairs came run upstairs to help me. Yeah,
Good.
it helps being fat. They can hear you fall.
Well, anything happens. It's like falling upstairs. You never think it's going to happen until it happens to you 6 or 10 times in your life.
Yeah,
And you're only lucky if no one sees you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause they
yeah,
never
well,
let you forget that shit. Just like we
yeah,
never let Joe forget that.
yeah. It's like hasn't happened well, thankfully. But a while back, I was outside walking, and my knees buckled on me, and I wound up pancaked on my face in the driveway, and because of my way my knees are, I didn't have enough support to stand back up, so I had to crawl across my driveway to get to the porch to get the support I needed to stand back up. That's one of the instances where it would have been nice if a neighbor saw me, they would came run over and help me. But unfortunately, no neighbors saw me fall.
Well, I one time, and this is how I hurt my other shoulder, which is why I'm having problems with both of them now. But I had just got done painting half of some steps, and the other half was already painted the day before and tried so that people could walk on that. And I wasn't paying attention and hit a slick part, and my shoes were bald on the bottom. All the tread had gone of my work boots, and I went straight up in the air, almost flat, and came down on my side on my
Mm.
shoulder. And that shit hurt too. And the first thing I did was looked around to see if anybody saw me, and I was lucky nobody did. And but I got to tell you, it's the first time I ever fell in my life where I actually got physically sick for like a
Oh
day.
wow, yeah. It takes the wind out of you.
Yeah, I went home and I was all right for a while, but the next day I woke up and my stomach wasn't right and my shoulder was killing me. And being the intelligent guy I was, I never went to the. I tore my rotator cuff. I know it, but I didn't go to the doctor. Now I'm having nothing but problems, and
Mm.
I'm with the VA. So apparently I qualify for Obamacare now. I don't know the whole story. I got the secretary and across the house there working on that tomorrow. I don't know. I just want some fucking dental insurance so I get some teeth. That's all I care about.
Let me ask you, Jerry, because I qualified for VA, and my insurance guy gave me the paperwork to fill out. Is it worth my effort to fill it out for additional health insurance?
Well, yeah, um, because you can. It depending on your finances. All right, you can.
Lack thereof.
Well, yeah, you can get your prescriptions for free. And I mean, it's not bad for. There's some fucked up shit, but it's not life threatening or anything like that. What you get checkups, blood tests, all kinds of stuff. I mean, I wouldn't want to go there to like have a hernia operation because they would probably amputate my leg or something. But you know,
or cut your dick off.
yeah. And
Hey,
if some of these, some of the people working there need to be punched in the face repeatedly, male and female, because they're government employees and they don't give a shit. And if I actually walked in an office to get my medical records once, and the lady was a black lady. She's in there talking to a black guy, all laughs, joking. The whole. As soon as she turned to me, everything got
saw a
sullen.
white dude.
Yeah, she got real sullen, and that told me all I needed to know. And complain like they have patient advocates and all this shit, but the patient advocates can't do shit, for you. They can go and talk to people, but that's about it. And I've had a doctor who refused to refill a couple of prescriptions of mine that were not narcotics or anything like that. He just refused to do it. He wouldn't do it. And
Hmm.
I'm like, the fuck is wrong with this guy? Yeah, there's and all that shit that I've been through is minor. I did have the VA advocate ask my wife if I beat her, and he was in a wheelchair, and I wanted to put him in
Whoa.
one of those medical beds because I was so fucking pissed when I heard that. I was ready to go back there.
Why would he ask that question?
I have no fucking idea. I was in there filling out my paperwork to try to get disability and shit, and I had to go give blood because it was the same day I had a doctor's appointment. So because we got to drive like 55 miles to get there, so we got to
Oh shit.
Do as much as possible in the same day. Anyway, I went and got my blood taken, and then I met her at the. I came back, and nothing was said or anything, and we finished, and we went to the appointment and checked in. We sat down waiting, and she told me that, and I was ready to get up and go beat his fucking ass.
Wow. I mean,
By the way, I got turned down again.
I mean, I know when every so often when we go to the doctor's office, I guess because of our age, they'll ask, are we the victim of elder abuse? And I said no. One time I made a joke about it, and I said, last time I did that, it wasn't the best thing to do.
Yeah. I don't consider myself elder. That's the problem. I guess I am. But you know what I mean? I mean, do you consider yourself elderly?
I'm 67, so yeah, I'm on Medicare, so yeah, I'm fucking old. But I made a mistake. I beat my wife up the other day. Why do you ask?
Oh yeah.
I said, no, I said with the smell. Really, I know. I love my wife.
Yeah.
Hey, Mrs. Rhodes, can we talk to you a minute?
Worst thing I ever said about my wife was my Captain Happy pills. I was like, they're really not working anymore.
Yeah.
And she says, we'll take 1.5. I said, okay. And she's always wrong anyway. So the hell with it. But yeah. And I've been asked at the VA if I own guns.
Oh, I hope you said no.
Of course, I said no, but all I could think, what I said in my head and what I said out of my mouth were two different things. Like, who in the fuck do you think you are asking me that question?
Well, they're seeing, unfortunately, they're slanted. They're seeing, men coming in, military background, PTSD, all kinds of, reliving, the battles they were in and so forth. And they're asking questions. Do you own guns? And if you said yes, then I'm sure that's marked down somewhere to be aware this man owns guns,
Yeah, it is. It is.
They don't ask me that question. And if they ask me if I beat my wife, I would say, well, no. And if she beat me, it would be a two-hit fight. She beat me, and I beat her.
This is what you say, Dave. Next time they ask you that, just tell them only on Thursday. Thursday. Just tell them that. Do it with a straight face, Dave.
But it'd have to be another night than Thursday.
No, what they will do. One time, Obama had them asking that for gun confiscation from red flag.
That's true too. That's true too.
Yeah. And it's like I don't know how healthcare anywhere, I don't care where it is, has the right to ask you any personal questions like that. I get it. If you are hearing voices and shit like that, I get it. I do. I'm not sure I want a guy who hears voices to own guns. I'll be truthful.
But what a person who still has some memory cells that are still functional, why would even if the person was hearing voices and stuff like that, openly say to the nurse or doctor, yeah, I hear voices. I mean that's a red flag right there. I mean, you go online and say, no, I don't hear voices. What are you talking about?
In Florida, I don't know about anywhere else. Chuck could tell you about Wisconsin, I guess, but in Florida, on the application for a gun that they call in, They got all them kind of questions. There's like 20 of them.
Well, yeah.
And
I had a doctor ask me once. He says, do you have any firearms in the house, or do you feel threatened at home? And I said, well, how about you, Doc? Do you have any guns at your house?
yeah.
He didn't answer me. I said, well, then I don't need to answer that question. It's none of your business.
The thing is, when you answer it like that, and we're all, either making jokes or being truthful, they just put down yes.
Yeah.
That's the problem. But the gun thing in Florida, I asked the guy one time, has anyone ever put down yes, I hear voices? And he goes, no. So the gun application thing, they call into the, FBI or whoever it is to clear you to buy one, is bullshit. And they want more paperwork that is going to end up being more bullshit. To buy a gun. All they're doing is putting red tape in front of you and that whatever weapon you want to buy. That's all they're doing, because everybody, I don't care if you're mentally irregular. Okay?
Did you say irregular?
Yeah, they're gonna lie on the thing. Look how many people shoot up schools and get fucking guns, and shoot up malls, and they get guns legally. They're lied.
Right?
Well, part of the reason in Massachusetts that I actually didn't get a gun was that I had been told by a lot of people at gun shops that I wouldn't get one because I'm bipolar and I'm on a mood stabilizer. Then someone told me, what city do you live in? I said, I live in Waltham. They said, the chief of police is Steve O'Neill. I said, yeah, I know him indirectly. They said, he is the one who makes a decision when on the gun applications. He said he will bring you in for an interview, and if he decides, even though you take a mood stabilizer, you are competent to know how to use a gun and when and where to use a gun, there's a very good chance you might get one.
Yeah. Whole thing where one person gets
Steve and I had an argument over something
bullshit.
that I knew I wouldn't get one.
The whole thing where one person gets to decide is a complete and utter bullshit. Even if they interview you, they shouldn't. That's why they're talking about national. They call it constitutional carry. I hate that shit. It's not constitutional carry. Constitutional carry is the state, the federal government, and everybody else stays the fuck out of my damn business.
Yeah.
And I get what I want. Okay, as long as I'm not breaking the law by killing someone or, I don't know, shooting at somebody's house or some stupid shit like that. I drove up down a road out of the paved road here. Every fucking sign has bullet holes in it. I hate them fucking people because they're the people that we got problems with. Okay? Every sign. I mean, you can't drive down the road and not shoot at signs. What's wrong with you? But they do it. But constitutional carry should be I can carry any damn thing I want, open or close, concealed, makes no fucking difference, and stay the fuck away from me if you don't like it. Okay, but they call it constitutional carry because they're acting like they're doing something, but they still have rules. You can't go into a liquor store or any place that sells liquor. You can't go near a school. Well, I've noticed a lot of the cops go near schools when there's shootings occurring and they stand outside and they got guns, so why can't I go in with one?
Yeah, I went and had to pick up a grandson several times, and my daughter had to keep reminding me to not take Boomeroo with me. And, it's like, they're pretty strict about it up here in Wisconsin. But then again, somebody carrying it underneath their coat or whatever, and nobody's going to know unless you start taking it out,
Yeah.
But
I'll tell you what, I think, I don't have any guns, but I think I would feel comfortable knowing that if I go into a store or school or some more public, and if there are people in there who are doing carry, under their weapon underneath their shirt or their pants pocket or wherever the fuck they're hiding it. But if they're competent enough to use it, I would be happier than them in case of a bad guy starts opening up fire. At least I know that there might be someone who's going to be shooting back at the guy.
Yeah, well, it depends on where you live. like where I live, everybody be, by the time you got to the guy, you'd have 85 bullet holes in him at the Walmart.
Oh, you hear about the guy that shot the police dog? He shot the police dog handler, and he shot another cop. And the reporter asked, you know, don't you think the 68 bullets in this guy was too much? What made you stop? And he said we ran out of bullets.
Oh yeah, Grady Judd. Yeah. Grady Judd started that shit in Florida with the way he explained shit and being, all for. And there's a lot of sheriffs in Florida that actually are the exact same way. You gotta look for them when they do it like a press conference and it's on YouTube. They sound exactly the same. He's just the most famous one because he's actually funny. Like when he tells, "We shot him a lot," and it's like that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem with open carry, Jane, is that people don't. It doesn't matter if it's all over the news. They don't like it. They call the cops on you, and the cops harass you over it. I mean, I've seen videos where they tell the guy, if you come outside your house with that gun openly carried, we're going to take you to jail for disturbing the peace, which is complete bullshit. They can't do that. They will, and then you got to go through the court system to deal with it. But and that's the pain in the ass.
Right.
But you ask a cop, "Did I do anything illegal?" They'll tell you no, but then they'll tell you they'll arrest you for disturbing the peace or whatever. Every state's got the same law; it's just named different. It's fuck you. I'll go where I want. I mean, back when I was I'd say 1920, you go any bar you went in, everybody was carrying. Now you're not allowed to carry in a bar. I never once saw a murder in a bar when I was younger. Not one time. I've seen guys in knife fights. I've been in a knife fight. Well, it was not so much a knife fight. He had a knife and I didn't. I punched him hard, and he didn't cut me, luckily. But I never saw anybody get shot back when I was a kid because every truck had a rifle in the back. Nobody broke into trucks to steal them. It was weird back in the day.
Yeah.
Compared to today, if you put a rifle in the back window of your truck today, it would be stolen in 10 minutes.
Yep.
We live in a different world.
On the person, yeah, I agree. I carry mine in my pocket because it's like a little 380, but and I got it in a holster, strapped, and I have practiced unstrapping it and then pulling it out and leaving the holster in my pocket.
Yeah, that's weird. My dad, when he got older, I'm not sure why. He never, maybe because we were growing up, but he never owned any type of guns. Now he did, the various wars that he participated in. He brought some shit home. He brought home a double-ended spear from the African Congo war that he was in. He brought home his helmet, his canteen, his bayonet, his gas mask from Vietnam, but never any type of handguns. Later on, he finally got himself a handgun, which he was pretty proud of. Scared the shit out of me because here's my dad. I love him to death, but whenever I drove with him in the car, he had his coffee mug sitting in the carrier in the car, and he'd always be drinking out of it. I figured it's coffee. And then one day we're getting ready to drive through this one city, and he said, "If you see a cop car, you start sucking that thing down." I thought, okay, Dad.
Cars were different back then.
So I'll drink your whiskey for you, Dad. Thank you.
Yeah.
But that's what he had. Here I'm thinking he's got coffee. He's got fucking Jack Daniels in his coffee mug.
Yeah, well, that was different back then when we all rode around in a station wagon all the way in the back thinking that was cool, and all it would have took was one head-on collision and you're all flying throughout the car.
Yeah.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
Listen, parents made us tough. That's one thing, you can say whatever you want. They made us tough back in the day.
They did.
Mentally and physically. Because the beatings would make you physically tough, and the mental part was, they didn't. My dad never fucked with me really, but when he got pissed, you straighten right the fuck up immediately. Because if he got to the point where he was raising his voice, you had one foot on a banana peel and another one in a 200 red welts on your ass from that belt coming out of his pants that I can still hear today.
Yeah. I hear that too.
Yep.
I'll
turn you into CPS.
Yeah. The only time I called him sir was when he got mad. And I don't think it worked. Yeah, I think he was just trying to scare me is what it was. It worked.
We never got the strap. My mother used to chase us around with the thinnest black dress belt that my father had that you knew was going to hurt if she hit you with it. But she would just stand there and she'd snap it together so that you could hear the sound. The sound is what scared us all. It's like I remember when one of the neighbors called my mother and said, I heard him say the word fuck. My mother came, dragged me up to her bedroom bathroom and said, what did you say? And I just wouldn't say it. So finally she stomped on my foot and I yelled fuck at the top of my lungs. And before I closed my mouth, she shoved that bar of Ivory soap in my mouth.
Yeah, that doesn't quite seem fair.
Yeah, I never had that happen, but it was threatened often.
Oh, I got the bar soap.
Did you?
Ivory, even though it's like 100% pure, actually tastes the worst.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ivory soap. Holy shit! Yeah, everybody used Ivory soap back in the day. Yeah, wasn't that the one that floated?
Yep.
Float.
Yeah. That's the one that the baby on the Ivory soap bar label box, whatever, because they made a laundry soap too. Was Marilyn Chambers, who grew up to become a porn star.
Oh, that's what that was?
I've seen her.
Yeah.
You seen her porn star?
Controversy. No, but I'm a guy, so I have to admit, I probably have. But the reality is that used to come up until I think she passed away. It used to come up every couple of years until she passed away. That's how she got her start in the entertainment business, was that way. And
yeah, I agree with
no one ever talked about the label. It was just one of those stupid embarrassment.
Yeah, I agree with David.
That would be
Means most parents cared about raising you right to face life. So my hat goes out to the parents who gave you shit. Yeah, because I got to tell you, I knew parents, even when I was like, say, 15, 16, I knew parents didn't give a shit. And their kids were, there weren't many of them, but their kids were just violent assholes and didn't care about nothing or nobody. And so on and so forth. And there wasn't a lot of them, though. Not like today, where you watch 20 of them and some guy's getting his head kicked in by 7 others, and they're all on the cell phone and egging it on. Back when we were kids, they would egg you on to fight, but nobody jumped in. It was 1-on-1, period. That was it.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. This David Bray is a great guy. I've known him for just about all of the 15 and a half years I've been on Facebook. And right after I met him, people were convinced that he's David Bray, who is the Patriot rocker. And a lot of people have heard of him, but I forget the song that he did, but everybody was telling me, oh, you know the Patriot rocker. So I played along for a little bit until I talked to David and learned that he's not the Patriot Rocker, but he's a great guy, and I appreciate him watching the broadcast whenever he does. And he sends me a lot of cool stuff to share on Facebook and social media as well. So it is a pleasure having you on the broadcast. Jimmy Collins is watching. Jane O'Malley, my buddy, is watching. Jolene Kirkland Foster is watching. The American Rebellion is watching. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday on the American Rebellion blogger page. Jerry Michaels in the lower right-hand or left-hand corner, depending on how your screen is set up. Jimmy Collins is watching. Robin Brunson is watching. And Chuck Cook is watching.
Chuck Cook is everywhere. Chuck is a man of
damn straight, man. Don't stand still. Don't make yourself a target.
Well, Chuck Cook used to watch Randy and I until one day I said basically the same thing that I said to Randy when Michael Anthony and I brought Randy on. I want to bring him on. I think he's great. I think he'll do great. And then I said to Chuck, do enough broadcasts with me until you're comfortable. And then I'm going to hope, because I think you'll fit right into the American Rebellion, that you make your way over there. So, it is living proof that, anybody who wants to do this,
they threatened threatened our lives if we didn't put Chuck on. So, there you go. Yes, you said, I will kill everybody if Chuck doesn't come on the American Rebellion. So
come on.
No, it's true. It's true. No, it really happened.
I don't have my boots on. Come on now.
It must have happened. It must have happened while I was asleep and I was watching a different channel.
Listen, Jimmy Collins says he's watching and listening, which is duality. Yeah, Jimmy, that's you got some talent there, Jimmy. There's no doubt of that. Jimmy, you ever gonna, change your profile picture? I mean, the mask is like so 2020. I don't know. It's I don't know. Oh, William Grant is here.
Good evening, William Grant. William Grant is here. William Grant actually holds the record for what the most Boogie with the Bull broadcasts in the 6-year history of Boogie with the Bull, second only to Danny Campbell. And Danny Campbell, I think, is about 5 or 10 broadcasts behind William Grant right now. So it's always a pleasure to have William Grant on.
Really, do you have a chalkboard at your house?
No, I just remember the people.
He's got the bad list too, Chuck. If you missed a show, he puts you on the bad side. Like, yeah.
But I'm not as bad as you. I don't charge you money.
Yeah, I charge money.
I don't find.
I also have no enforcement mechanism, so I never get paid. That's a difference.
No, I know. But if I said to Chuck, you weren't on last night on whatever show, you owe whatever, the only thing I could do is dock his pay. And when a guy only makes a penny a month, what are you
you're gonna come up here to us. You're gonna come up here to Wisconsin and get the thing.
His contract says he makes a penny a month, and he does not get paid until he has earned $25.
Oh, you got problems, Chuck. That's
I'll be dead.
That's YouTube shit right there. I'm telling you.
I'll be dead. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I like William Grant. I like. Well, I don't know. Jimmy owes me like $9,000 in fines. He didn't pay me.
See, my problem is that
has anyone heard in the comments or anything else from Nick? Because something ain't right.
No.
He didn't tell me why he wasn't going to be on the. Was it last night? I guess.
Did he hurt his back shoveling?
No. I think his father was in. I know his father's going in for surgery, and then this morning, real early, I put a message up. Everything okay? And he saw the message and didn't answer, which is unlike him.
Okay. I sent him a link and I said, I know that you were sick and your father had some stuff going on, but if you want to come on, please come on. If you can't, I fully understand.
I've seen quite a few posts from Alonda, but nothing about the surgery or anything. So
yeah. That
That's
may not.
what everything
I don't know.
went
I
okay.
hope everything's all right.
Yeah.
Because for me to,
So
I don't think he's ever not answered me. And
Oh,
I just sent him a link to the, yeah, and well, I gotta look on my phone. I
yeah,
can't see it on here, but you know how your profile picture or whatever shows up when you see the post.
yeah.
When I wrote, "Is everything okay?" He he uh, he saw it. He just didn't answer, and for him not to tell me why he's not coming on, that's weird.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm glad he's all
I
right.
sent him a link. I sent him a link shortly after 6 when I sent everybody links, and it said, "Not sure if you can join us, but if you want, come after 7 p.m. Eastern when we're live." He did see it, but
Yeah, I'm thinking something's
I
wrong.
do hope everything is okay.
Either he's sick
And
again or something is wrong. Because as much as he
yeah,
bitches and moans about his father, it's going to be tough for him if his father goes.
yeah,
And I'm not saying that happened. I'm not saying I don't
no,
want anybody to tell him I said
no,
that happened
no,
because I'm
no,
not saying that because I don't know, and I
right,
know he ain't mad at me. So
no,
it ain't me. That and
no.
which is unusual, I admit, but nevertheless,
Yeah,
If he
you
had
got
if he had a cold and he's up in the cold weather right now and he's still fighting that cold, I can understand why someone wouldn't want to be on here. Plus, he's one of the American Rebellion crew like you that I often worry about. You do 4 of your own shows, and then you come here and do 2 of mine. And sometimes Jerry will come on live in the mornings. So he's doing a bazillion broadcasts, and I can't.
that don't bother me that much.
I know.
Usually, if I can't be on, I'm doing something, so I
Right.
can't.
Right.
This next week and a half, I'll be very busy during the day, so I'm not going to be there. But
Oh, did you get your truck going?
Oh,
yeah,
that's what I was going to ask you at
and
the
it
beginning.
doesn't throw any more codes, and the oil isn't leaking. Now, while I got the neighbor's truck, I'm going to do the rest of it and get that done. So, what the problem was is when I removed the fuel rail, fuel came out of it.
Right.
So I had to let it, it revved and finally caught some gas and it started dispersing gas into the uh, injectors and then it fired right up. It's just the way it was revving. It didn't sound happy at all, and that was because it was starving for fuel. So
clogged fuel line.
Right.
plus I put in a new battery, which helped a lot. And that solved a few problems. And the a new sensor I put in now is fine. So I'm going to take it on a test drive tomorrow and see where we're at. And then I got ball joints, shocks, brake pads.
Damn.
Man, you got a new fucking truck, man.
What else? Well, I just put the new oil cooler in. That's why everything was off. But
Huh.
what else? That was a pain. I am not built for that shit no more. I thought sitting in the engine compartment would be fine, but getting out sucked. Holy shit!
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
you
ain't
were talking
16.
about
I ain't
something like the
17
size
years
of an
old.
S10 yesterday.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
ain't. And it's like, damn. And it's not even like I know it's a truck, but yeah, I'm tall. So all I do is like slide down, or climb down the bull bar I got on the front, which was made in China, and the whole bottom of it is completely rusted the fuck out, which pisses me off. Um, but because when I put it on, it's my hands don't work the way they used to. So when I put it on, I was trying to hold it up and get the bolt in so I could get it hold on there and something happened where it fell, well, on my head.
Oh.
So that helped.
Oh,
Yeah.
ouch.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, Jerry? It'll feel better when the pain goes away, though.
Yeah.
I guarantee you. Guarantee you.
Oh.
Well, Chuck, I got to be truthful with you. I cannot afford too many hits to the head anymore. It's really not good. And now
So I have to apologize because Jerry said changing batteries, and I was going to have to turn my mic off because I was going to laugh so hard because one night Jerry talked batteries, and when he says batteries, that memory comes to my head.
Well, they're both dead now because of the cold. So,
okay.
There's that. The one started the other day, but that was before the freezing happened. The other one wasn't strong enough to start the mower, so I got to get that and put that back on a charger. But they're pretty brand new. They better not be fucking dead. That's all.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Promise me now you're not going to buy a new starter, put it in one, pull it out, then run back and throw it into the other one.
No, I already replaced the starter on the one that is actually on the outside. So that because
Daryl posted on Facebook that his pipes froze up, but he was able to get to them before they burst.
Yeah,
and get them thawed out. But yeah.
I hear, and I don't know if this is true. Chuck could tell me, Randy could tell me, maybe even Dave. But you're supposed to leave the water dripping or something.
Yes.
Yeah, just a trickle. Yep, just a trickle.
That keeps the water pipes from freezing.
I was in the Marine Corps, and I went away for the weekend in the winter in Washington, D.C. And I lived below my best friend, who was the guy in charge of the building. So anyway, I come back and I go to turn the water on, and it's like 4 degrees in my apartment. I go to turn the water on, nothing comes out. I'm like, what the fuck?
Pipes frozen.
Yeah, no, I didn't know this. I'm from Florida. I didn't know this. I don't know. So I go upstairs and go, hey, Dave. And he had company and everything, and he was trying to be better than he was. He had all these fancy people over and shit. And I'm standing there in my usual garb, and I go, Dave, I got no water. What the hell happened? And he looked at me and said, what do you mean you got no water? I said, turn on the faucet and then come out. He said, you didn't leave the water trickling? No. Why would I do that? The pipes froze. God damn it. I'm like, I'm from Florida. How the hell am I supposed to know about this? And he came down and put a space heater under the sink, and they unclogged. But it's like, really?
Why was he blaming you? It's his place.
Yeah, good. Well, he was just the maintenance guy. But plus, I called him out of his fancy fucking party he was having. But I'm like, something. It's like, how is a guy from Florida supposed to know that?
Well, yeah, you wouldn't think about it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking at, and we weren't really friends after that. After he yelled at me, I was like, yeah, fuck that shit.
But you take notice, Jerry. As soon as you said that, the guy who lives in northern state knew exactly what the problem was.
Yeah,
it's where you live. It's how you're grown up, brought up. And with that, I'm going to jump off. I gotta get ready for bed. So I will see you guys later.
All right, take care, Randy. Thanks.
Yep, toodles.
Okay, I got to step out for just a second. I'll be right back.
Poo-poo?
Yeah, Jerry,
No, I'm being called to conference with my grandson, so I'm going to step out. For
Jerry, I change my battery out in my car every 3 years, whether it needs it or not. The last time I went in, the guy says, well, your battery's fine. And I go, change it out.
Yeah. Well, where you live, I could see it because you got probably 100 degrees in the summer, I would think, like everywhere else. And then
in the 90s, yeah.
in the fucking whatever the hell it is in the winter, I can't even say the words. But I've noticed that 4-year batteries, 3 years is about their limit. If you're lucky, 3.5.
Right.
And if this battery I had was still good, a couple of days of freezing weather at 32 degrees, not minus, just 32, for a couple of hours a night. Okay, Chuck's leaving. Would not be the thing to make it go bad. So that's why I did it. Anyway, Dave is back. His conference with his grandson is over. So I guess back to Dave.
I promised him some treats, a little, what do you call it, moon pie and an oatmeal cream pie a few days ago. And then
you're such a good daddy.
And then the last few days I kept saying to him, make sure I give them to you so that I don't eat them and not have them to give them to you. Then I gave them to him yesterday morning.
And he wanted to remind you?
No, he wanted to thank me for giving them to him.
Nice. Oh, that's
So,
nice. At least he
but
did that.
I couldn't, right. And I couldn't, he's a really good kid. I couldn't hear him knocking because I'm wearing headphones and they cancel everything around me except for when the Chihuahua barks because she barks at like 527 gazillion
Yeah, but it doesn't
frequency.
matter because you have a regular microphone.
Yeah.
Anytime you have a mic, you're going to pick up outside noises. I've had them noise
Yeah.
cancellation shit. I got it on this computer. I got it.
Yep.
That shit don't work.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Jerry, you haven't lived until you have to use an oven as a heater. I've done it.
Oh,
Gas
God.
oven in North Carolina, 12 degrees outside, 11 in the house. And we turned on the oven, let it heat up to like, I don't know, I remember probably like 750 degrees or something, however high it goes. And then opened the door. And the kitchen, the way the stove wasn't facing the living room. So the kitchen got pretty warm, but by the time it got to us, it raised the temperature to 30. We didn't have like a box fan or anything to blow the hot air over there, so that didn't help. But
Yeah, that's just like the girlfriend here. She she's got one of those consoles and then has a TV sitting on top of it. You know, it's got a heating element in it. Nice little colors and stuff. And I told her, you know, that's out where the thermostat is. I said, you know, you turn that on, it's going to keep this room nice and warm, but the rest of the house is going to get cold because the thermostat's, you know, doesn't need to turn the furnace on. So, yeah.
yeah, our thermostat originally was on the back of the house, and the back of the house in the afternoon gets a full sun in the summer. So our air conditioner ran constantly. And when I moved it to the interior of the house where it belongs, now it shuts on, it goes, turns on, it shuts off. It's beautiful. And the electric bill went way down, so that's always nice.
That oven trick just scares the bejeebies out of me. I don't know why. It's probably safe to a point, but it just scares the bejeebies out of me that something
if you
will
do
happen.
that a lot, it'll ruin your element, which isn't that expensive. It's a thing all the way on the bottom, you know.
Yeah.
It isn't that expensive to replace, but it also puts a lot of wear and tear on the oven that's not made to be a heater. But in the end, until that happens, it's way better not to be like, you know, near death. So there's that.
Yeah.
But I've done that. Yeah, it's. Well, I was in my 20s too. And, you know, that same day, I'll never forget this. I walked outside and it was like 70 degrees and still 30 degrees inside. And I came back in and said, "You're not going to believe this. It's like 70 degrees out here." And we ended up opening all the windows to warm up.
I have to figure out why, and it may just be something with Restream, but some of the comments from Facebook don't make it onto my screen here so that I can share them. Like Tina Scott always says great stuff, like she did it plenty of times, reminds the oven, and she hates that job. And I thought that was so funny that I wanted to flash it up on the screen. And
I don't know what's wrong with Tina. Doesn't she have a self-cleaning oven? Everyone has a self-cleaning oven.
Yeah, she probably has one from the 70s that still runs.
Yeah, she has she has a self-cleaning oven. She's the self that has to clean it.
But she's probably got an old one that still is working, whereas you buy this new piece of shit that they got out. You know, 6 months later, the element goes out on it, and it costs, you know, damn near as much to get the element as it does to buy a new new stove.
I don't know. Mine ain't that expensive. It's like $35, but the old stoves, the old refrigerators, the old dishwashers, the old washing machines, especially, and dryers. Those two items, especially, are the best. These new ones with all the electronics, the boards go out on them. Just constantly an error message after probably, and I'm not lying when I tell you 6 months. I bought a brand new dishwasher about 10 years ago, and it lasted 3 months before we needed a new board. By the time we moved out of that house to move here, it didn't work again because it needed another new board. So we had a lightning strike that took out my stove and the motherboard on the stove. So I had to go buy a thing for like $80 to put on the pole with 2 wires to stop a surge.
Surge protector. Yep.
Yeah, surge protector. That's what it is. And it hadn't happened since, so I'm happy. But the old stuff, especially washers and dryers, they may not look as good and not as fancy, but when you turn them on, they work.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-mm.
Yep. And I don't know. We're coming up on 8:30. Are you okay, Jerry, or do you have to? I'm not chasing you off like I always say, but you have to go.
I got stuff to do tomorrow, so appreciate you having me on, Dave. Thank you, and Chuck. Good to see you. Glad to see you got back all right. And thanks, Randy, and everybody in the comments. Hopefully, we see you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern on the American Rebellion.
I'll try to be here. I'll try.
All right. Good.
Okay.
Good. I'm sure Dave will tomorrow Friday.
If Chuck is not there tomorrow, I will pay his fine too.
And promising that and actually paying is probably 2 different things.
Oh shit! Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Jerry.
That's very true.
You bursted my balloon.
Yeah.
He's got the jar. Look at that shit.
Well, if it's not more than about $3.50, I got it right there.
Well, no, Dave, we're talking hundreds. Sorry, there's nothing I can do.
Oh, okay.
I thought this was going to be a good way to make money for the show, but me, but I was wrong. How come on this Eve Mugs my cameras keep switching?
I don't know. You just kind of went like this real quick.
Yeah, I'm going to do it again.
Because it's Eve-Mugs. But I think it happened when you were using Restream too. I don't remember.
I don't know. This has happened twice tonight already.
Wow, 1962. I'm still using it.
My parents' stove was bought in 1962, still being used. You know what I want? I wanted one of them old ass wood burning stoves with like the 12 ovens and the 16. Well, I guess you call them burners. With the covers and oh man, I'd love to have that.
Yeah, that'll heat your whole house and probably half the
neighbor's
block.
got a wood burning stove. Wood burning. It's like a pot belly deal, but it heats his whole. His house is really small, but it's a block house, and it's up off the ground on blocks. Some of which seem to be breaking and cracking and falling down, and he's good. He don't care. He's 80, 83. He don't give a shit. All right, guys, have a great night. Thank you.
All right, Jerry. Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yeah, Dave. I just
Jerry,
got a. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you have to go too?
No. No, I'm here.
Okay. All right.
Am I pointing the right way?
I don't know. I guess you can reverse the screen the way you see it so that it's really the way everybody else sees it. I can't handle that anyway.
As I'm looking at it, you're that way to me, so it doesn't matter. I just got a text here from a friend of mine. He wanted to know how things are going. I told him to join in tonight, and they're out to eat right now. But I'll send you his name, and I'll have him get with you. And he's definitely on our side. So
cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, then go and enjoy the rest of your night. We'll let my wife put on TV and crochet a storm and get ready for craft shows.
Ah, yeah. You're in Jacksonville, right?
We are in North Jacksonville, yes.
North Jacksonville, okay.
The telecommunications capital of the world.
Right. No, we're going down to Fort Myers or Estoril.
That's way down.
See the grandkids, and we're going to go down to the Everglades and take a airboat ride and see some gators and maybe some pythons. I don't know. Yeah,
you'll be closer to Jerry depending on how you come into the state. If you come into
we usually go through Gainesville on 75.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how far that is away.
About 50 miles, he said.
But if you come down 295 from Georgia into Florida, that's around where we are.
Yeah, you're over on the you're on the Atlantic side. We're pretty much on the Gulf side, the Gulf of America side.
The Gulf of America.
Yeah, damn straight. So yeah, we're gonna go down there, and then never been to Key West, so we're gonna go down there and do the Key West thing, and yeah.
I just hope prices go down at the Gulf of gas stations.
I just go out and make more. That's all.
Yeah, that's what they should do. I hope they do. I hope they realize if they make more and they sell more at a lower price, you still pretty much come close to making what you're aiming to make.
Yeah.
You
know. All right.
But the price of gas should not be a political discussion anyway. But anyway.
Yeah. All right, Dave.
I'm not sure what's happening tomorrow. I'm not sure what is happening tomorrow morning. I'll let you know once I know.
Like I said, I'll try to be here. Yeah, no guarantees. I might end up going out to eat with the family again tomorrow. I don't know yet, but or I might just go out to Iowa and have crab legs. I don't know. But.
After being on this broadcast and on the American Rebellion, your family wants to go out with you in public?
They haven't. The only one that has seen this is Nick. Nick Bally. Remember, he was on a couple times in the chat about a month ago or so. But yeah, he's all done with his medical treatments that he was going through, and I don't know. We'll see if we can get him back on here again too. But I'm sure my daughter saw, on the screen. But
Yeah, there's always. I tell people there's always room. There's 9 that can be on with me. So the more the crazier.
No, I think you'll enjoy Rob. He's kind of a little crazy, but he's a good guy. He's a good guy. So,
all right.
Hey, I want to thank everybody.
Okay, Chuck.
I want to thank everybody in the chat before Dave gets ready to go bye you and good comments tonight. Good participation, and without you guys, you bring up some good points. So and like Dave says, he likes to put those on the screen there, and you are participating, and that's good. That's good. We like to see that. So, okay, Dave, it's all yours.
All right, Chuck. Okay. Let me I gotta get up here and I gotta do this. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. I'm sorry. That really is mean. I used to be popping a parachute on people, but let's see. Jimmy Collins will see us all tomorrow over on the American Rebellion. William Grant says, good night, folks. Jane O'Malley says, always a great show. Jolene Kirkland Foster says, good night. I enjoyed the show. I'm glad you did. I hope everybody did. I really didn't want to do politics tonight. And so I'm glad we kind of didn't do a whole lot of politics tonight. It will be there waiting, and maybe it'll be on the American Rebellion tomorrow night. Maybe it won't. It was just one of those days where it was, Democrats didn't want Republicans to do something that they've been doing all along. And you know what? The whole thing is just a game of politics, because it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things what they do, because they're going to do what they want to do, whether it's something we tell them to do or not. Anyway, I'm not spending 25 minutes trying to end the broadcast tonight. Double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast is going to come to an end. This is the part of the broadcast where I take a deep breath and I say you have been watching Boogie with the Bull Uncensored for Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. A copyrighted presentation of the No Budget Broadcasting Company. Doesn't mean anything, but I like saying it. And make sure you catch the American Rebellion downstairs on the American Rebellion blogger page tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern here on Facebook and somewhere on X. You won't find it anywhere on Rumble if you're watching the broadcast tonight. So live well, prosper, stay off the roads if the weather is cold outside and there's ice. And if there is, please drive slowly and safely. Take a few minutes extra to get to wherever you're going, rather than taking a few minutes to move faster and hit something and cause all kinds of problems. Anyway, Peace, love, heavy.